Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. And today we are having a listening party. This is something I want to try. I'm not sure if we're going to get away with it, but what I'm trying to do here, I think, qualifies as fair use by the rules of the copyright laws in the United States, but we'll see what YouTube does. So if this does work, and if you like it, we'll be doing more of these in the future, and maybe I'll make some graphics and some bumper music and all that good stuff. For now, this is our trial run to see if we can actually get away with this. A listening party. So I love music. I know a lot of you out there do as well, and I thought it would be fun to listen to an album together. I can give you my opinions on the album as we listen to it. You could get yourself a nice cold drink, put on a pair of headphones, lean back, and enjoy listening to an amazing album with me, your good friend Bradley. Today, I have picked, as the very first album we're going to be listening to, Parallel Lines by Blondie. I am wearing my Blondie shirt right now. Now, I never was a huge Blondie guy. I had heard all the singles, obviously, Heart of Glass, Dreaming, Atomic, Rapture. And I always thought, oh yeah, those are good songs, but I just assumed that I probably wouldn't like the albums. I don't even know why I would assume that. I think I thought they were just more kind of a commercial poppy band. I always associated them more with the 80s as well, but they have been around since the early to mid 70s. They were far more punk initially than they were pop, always kind of weird and eclectic. And I recently picked up their second, third, and fourth albums, which I think is the real sweet spot for their best output. And they're great, especially their third album, Parallel Lines. Parallel Lines came out in September 8th of 1978. And previous to this, they had had some success in the UK, not much in the US yet, but when this album came out, it reached #1 on the UK album charts, and it actually did do pretty well in the US. It reached #6 on the Billboard charts in 1979, and Heart of Glass, a single from the album, was their first #1 single in the US. So this is the album that really catapulted them to fame. Apparently, they used a new producer for this album, Mike Chapman, who had never worked with them before and who said that it was very difficult working with them on this album. Apparently, they were all just kind of juvenile and amateurish. Even though they had talent, they weren't very disciplined in how they played. He had to spend hours and hours trying to get them to record their parts properly. There's a quote from him: "The Blondies were tough in the studio, real tough. None of them liked each other except Chris and Debbie. And there was so much animosity." So Chris Stein and Debbie Harry, Debbie obviously, or Deborah, the lead singer, and then Chris Stein was her boyfriend slash co-founder of the band, who also was one of the songwriters and a guitarist. They were really, really juvenile in their approach to life, a classic New York underground rock band, and they didn't give a fuck about anything. They just wanted to have fun and didn't want to work too hard getting it. Well, however difficult it was to record this album, I think they succeeded, because I think this album is, I don't want to say pop rock punk perfection, but it's really good. It's really consistent. I think there are only a couple of songs on this album that I might skip over, but they're all worth listening to. And I just want to jump in. I think this album is absolutely great. And this also features my favorite lineup for Blondie. It was the one that they got basically around their second album, and they stuck with till when they kind of disintegrated the first time in the early 80s. So obviously Deborah Harry, lead singer, Chris Stein, her partner and co-founder of the band, who co-wrote and did guitar. They had Frank Infante, who was their lead guitar player, Nigel Harrison, who was a British bass player. All of them kind of helped writing songs. Jimmy Destry, who was their keyboardist and also one of the songwriters. He was from New Jersey, I think, an Italian guy. And then I'm missing somebody. Oh yeah, Clem Burke, their drummer, who I think just listening to their music sounds amazing. But one of the quotes from Mike Chapman, the producer, was that he couldn't keep time very well. So maybe kind of showy, but not like metronomic good time. But anyway, let's get into this, because you will recognize some of these songs, obviously, but there are so many gems on this album that I had never heard before until I picked it up. So let's jump in with the very first song. This is Hanging on the Telephone. This is not written by Blondie. It was written by the Nerves, or originally performed by the Nerves. They were a punk band, and written by Jack Lee. So this is a cover, Hanging on the Telephone. You've heard this one.
I'm in the phone booth, it's the one across the hall. If you don't answer, I'll just bring it off the wall. I know he's there, but I just try to call. We'll be hanging on the telephone. We'll be hanging
Starting off very punky.
on the telephone. I heard your mother, now she's going out the door. Did she go to work or just go to the store? All those things she said I told you to ignore. Oh, why can't we talk again? Oh, why can't we talk again?
I really like her vocal style in this. She doesn't do a lot of really showy stuff with her voice. It's kind of just straight and even, but then she'll do these interesting things with phrasing and pronunciation, like going to the store. Like there's kind of that New York-y aspect in there. I don't know if she's putting that on or not. And you'll notice, you know, she doesn't do a lot of vibrato. She's not doing these crazy runs or anything, but she'll get this really growly aspect to her voice that I like. So listen for that. And then also, I just love how, you know, straight ahead punk rock this is. It's not, you know, super hardcore or anything, but it's just tight, nice, basic. This is the kind of thing that I super love. I love, you know, original British punk and post-punk and stuff like that, and like poppy post-punk, and not pop punk like Blink-182. Please no, but original stuff from the 70s. And this has really given me that vibe.
Oh, why can't we talk again? Baby, hanging on the telephone.
I might sing sometimes, just to warn you.
Baby, hanging on the telephone.
Okay, now listen to her vocal here.
It's good to hear your voice, you know it's been so long. If I don't get your calls, then everything goes wrong.
She's gonna growl soon.
I want to tell you something you've known all along.
Maybe not.
Hanging on the telephone.
Nice little lead line.
I had to interrupt and stop this conversation.
Oh, here she goes,
No
growly.
parts across the line gives me a strange sensation. I
Love
like
that.
to talk when I can show you my affection. Oh, I can't control myself. Oh, I can't control myself. Oh, I can't control myself. Leave me hanging on the telephone. Hang up and run to me. Oh, 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 whoa, 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 run to me.
Great. Just a nice, straight ahead, punky. I mean, it's a poppy, catchy punk song, but just basic, nice, straight ahead. Love it. Obviously, they didn't write it, but it's great. I listened to the original Nerves version of it, and they didn't change much as far as the arrangement. It's pretty much very faithful to the original. So the next song, One Way or Another. This was written by Deborah Harry and Nigel Harrison, the bassist. And apparently Deborah Harry had a horrible stalker at one point in her life. And that's what this song is about. I think you'll get that from the lyrics. I love the whooshy guitars. I don't know if that's a chorus pedal or a phaser.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. One way or another, I'm gonna win you. I'm gonna get you. One way or another, I'm gonna see you. I wanna meet you. One day, maybe next week, I'm gonna meet you. I'll meet you. I will drive past your house, and if the lights are all down, I
Again, this kind of has a straight ahead sound, but there are these cool little tweaks that I love in here. I do love the rhythm guitar, has that kind of washy whooshy sound. And then Harry's vocals, again, they're kind of straight ahead, but then she puts so much personality, just this kind of nasty tinge to it. There's that growly aspect of her voice. And there's just sort of this like weird sarcasm, I guess. I don't know. There's just something about the vocal performance that I love. All the components of the instrumentation, everything working together to make this. Again, it sounds like, oh, this is just kind of a basic, somewhat up-tempo rock song. But there's just a little bit of weirdness in here that I enjoy.
Find ya, I'm gonna get you one way or another. I'm gonna win ya. I'll get ya one way or another. I'm gonna see ya. I'm gonna meet you one day. Maybe next week I'm gonna meet ya. I'll meet ya. And if the lights are all out, I'll follow your bus downtown. See who's hanging out.
A little breakdown here. Assuming that's Frankenfonte.
One way or another, I'm gonna lose ya. I'm gonna give you the slip, or slip on the hip or another. I'm gonna lose ya. I'm gonna trick ya. I'll trick ya. One way or another, I'm gonna lose ya. I'm gonna trick ya one way or another. I'm gonna lose ya. I'm gonna give you the slip. I walk down the stand over by the wall where I can see it all. Find out who you're gonna lead you to the supermarket. Check out some specials and rap. Get lost in the crowd. One way or another, on a where I can see it all. Find out who you're one way or another, on a where I can see it all. Find out who you're one way or another, on a where I can see it all.
Like that almost like police siren aspect there.
Where I can see it all. Find out who you're where I can see it all. Find out who you're where I can see it all.
Love it. Fun, inventive. It's a dark subject matter, if you listen to the lyrics especially, but I don't know, they just they're able to add so much infectious catchiness to it. And then I love that outro where they sort of change things up a lot. It's just a lot of invention and fun. Next, we have Picture This. This is by Deborah Harry and Chris Stein and somebody else. It is cut off on my paper here. Not sure. Anyway, Picture This is... I enjoy the song, but it's maybe one of my lesser favorites from the album. It doesn't stand out as much as some of the other tracks.
All I want is a room with a view, a sight worth seeing, a vision of you. All I want is a room with a view.
One thing I do enjoy, again, is just Debbie Harry's vocals. You hear that extended note she did. There was almost no vibrato. And for those of you who don't know, vibrato is like, if I were to do a note like, ah, that's almost no vibrato. It's just straight. But that if you go, where you're modulating the tone. A lot of people think that's really attractive, but I like how kind of straight she is with all of her notes. I mean, and she does use vibrato sometimes, but she just has a really interesting style of singing.
I will give you my finest hour, the one I spent watching you shower. I will give you my finest hour.
I'm hearing chorus again or something on that guitar. Whooshy rhythm guitar.
My wallet, a small remembrance of something more solid. All I want is a picture of you. Picture this, a day in December. Picture this, freezing cold weather. You got clouds on your lids and you'd be on the skids if it weren't for your job at the garage. If you could only, picture this, a sparkle of thunder. Picture this, my telephone number. Want it, but I'm telling you, oh yeah. All I want is 20/20 vision, a total portrait with no omissions. All I want is a vision of you. Oh, if you could picture this, a day in December. Picture this, freezing cold weather. You got clouds on your lids and you'd be on the skids if it weren't for your job at the garage. You could only, picture this, a sky full of thunder. Picture this, my telephone number. Want it, but I'm telling you. Get a pocket computer, try to do what you used to do, yeah.
So not a bad song by any means. There are things to like in there by any means. I like how sometimes it seems like she's kind of forcing that higher register a little bit. She has pretty good range, but she normally sings more in a lower register, a register that I can sing in a lot of times too, which is kind of fun. But that was just kind of a good song, basic. It doesn't really jump out at me too much. The next song is another one that might not be my favorite on the album, but I think it does some interesting things and it definitely adds some texture and some atmosphere to the album. It is Fade Away and Radiate, and that is by Chris Stein. Spooky. I like her vocals on this, though. She has this really kind of ethereal tinge she puts into it.
Ooh, baby, I hear how you spend nighttime, wrapped like candy in a blue neon glow. Fade away and radiate. Fade away, radiate. Ooh, baby, watchful lines vibrate soft in brainwave time.
Interesting lyrics.
Silver pictures move so slow. Golden tubes faintly glow.
And I like the breathy, kind of creepy way she's singing in this song. And the instrumentation's cool. It's cool. It just doesn't grab me like some of the other ones.
Electric faces seem to merge. Hidden voices mock your words. Fade away, radiate. Fade away and radiate. Be
at over 4 minutes.
Fade away and radiate.
One of the longer songs on the album. Most of them are very tight. This kind of reggae influenced ending. Interesting. I don't know. What do you think of that one? I like it. There's a lot of mood, a lot of texture, but that's kind of what it's about. There's some interesting movement instrumentally and everything. I do like those changes, the reggae or kind of rocksteady ending. Good. It's not something that I'm going to be singing afterwards probably, but still interesting. And I think it works in the context of an album, you know. Next, we have Pretty Baby. This one is by Deborah Harry and Chris Stein, the 5th track off Parallel Lines. And to me, this song is more reminiscent of maybe earlier stuff from their first and second album. I'm really noticing the chorus on the guitar in all these songs. Well, most of them.
Live in the evening. But the very young need the sun.
So I really like this one. It's interesting because it has this sort of 60s Motown girl group sort of sound in the instrumentation and the arrangement, the backing vocals and everything. But I love this weird post-punk 70s sheen on top of it. Like the guitars in the background are, you know, there's a chorus or a flangey kind of effect on there. There's just something a little like skewed. So if you took a Supreme song or something and then just twisted it a little bit. I love her glassy vocals again. That's just the best word I can use to describe her vocals. But yeah, just catchy, cool. I like the whole production.
You with the comb.
Great bridge too.
You look okay everywhere. I should have known. You'd look at me and look away. Oh.
The spoken word part is very like Ronettes. It's great. Fun.
Sun. Eyes that tell me incense and peppermint,
up there. I love that guitar sound in the back, the lead line. Yeah, I really like that. I love the slightly nostalgic arrangement, instrumentation. I love that the driving drums and the bass line in the background and everything. So it has that real solid foundation of, like I said, like a early mid 60s kind of Motown girl group sort of sound. But then the lyrics are a little more out there. The instrumentation is a little more out there. There's just this weird twisting to that formula that I appreciate. It's very postmodern, I guess. Okay, next, the sixth song, I Know, But I Don't Know. I think it's the sole song written by Frank Infante, the lead guitarist. Let's take a listen.
Hey, you know,
The organ.
I don't know.
Kind of like a spook rock sort of opening here. This is so Sonic Youthy to me. And one thing that I've really sort of discovered by listening to this earlier Blondie stuff is how much influence they must have had on a lot of these seminal New York bands that will be coming up in, another generation. I mean, this is so Sonic Youth. It's really fascinating to me. There are some songs later that I'll point out. Well, we'll wait until we get to those actual songs, but I mean, this just sounds so much like Sonic Youth. Maybe not quite as weird with how Sonic Youth plays guitar, but very Sonic Youthy, very just New York underground. It sounds like it could be released, last year. It doesn't sound like it's from 1978. Really interesting.
I will, but I won't get. I lose, but I don't bet. I'm your dog, but not your pet.
And I don't know if that's Frank Infante or Chris Stein doing the male vocal.
Locked out without a key. Now I care, but I don't care. And I know that I don't see. Now I see that I don't know. I know, but I don't know.
It's interesting how it doesn't really have a chorus in the traditional sense. It just has this vocal line that kind of builds and builds and builds, but then the resolution is sort of that guitar line that happens. So interesting song structure. Again, it's not one that I'd necessarily be humming afterwards. Maybe I would, but it's cool, it's unique, and it just sounds. I could imagine this on the Sonic Youth album Washing Machine very easily. So interesting. I enjoy that, but I do think it maybe overstays its welcome slightly. That's almost 4 minutes. Most of their songs are, right around 3 minutes, sometimes less, like 2.5 minutes. And they do what they set out to do. They get in, they get out. This one, it lingers a little long. I think this is more of them just trying to, be interesting, experimental. And I think it works in that regard. But it's just like a song. It's never going to be a single, obviously. Interesting. But now we are getting into an amazing 4-song run in the second half of this album, starting with, I don't want to influence you too much, but what might be my favorite song off of the album, and that is 11:59. This is written by Jimmy Destry, their keyboardist. If you look at some of their biggest hits on subsequent albums, he wrote a lot of them. And this one I absolutely love. And I want you, when you're listening to this song, to think if it reminds you of any more contemporary band. 11:59.
Leaning in your corner like a candidate for wax. Sidewalk social scientist, don't get no satisfaction from your cigarettes. It's 10 to 10, time is running out. Lock up all your memories, get out of here. You know that we can run. Today can last another million years. Today could be the end of me. It's 11:59, and I want to stay alive. Pumping like a fugitive in cover
So
from
good.
the night. Take it down the freeway like a bullet to the ocean. Wait until the morning. Take tomorrow by the hand. Take it down the highway like a rocket to the ocean. We can run. Today can last another million years. Today could be the end of me. It's 11:59, and I want to stay alive.
Love this song.
Hanging on a frequency, burning like a fire. Boy, you got the motion down.
Can't
It's
remember the
getting late. I'm tired and I've lost control. Don't leave me here. Time is running out. Take me down the highway like a rocket to the ocean. We can run. Today can last another million years. Today could be the end of me. It's 11:59, and I want to stay alive.
We get to the outro. I didn't want to interrupt that song in the middle. So, first of all, which band, a more modern band, do you think that sounds like? Or which that modern band sounds like this? It's the Strokes. It is so the Strokes, especially off their first album. I mean, that rhythm guitar in the background, just the phrasing, the construction of the song. I would bet anything that Julian Casablancas and the whole rest of the Strokes were very much influenced by Blondie. I mean, they were a seminal CBGB proto-punk band or post-punk band in New York. So I think it's very obvious from this song that they were influenced by them. Also, lyrically, if you go back and listen to that again, what do you think that was about? Because I have a very definite theory that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. But to me, this is like a girl talking to her boyfriend, and it's metaphorically, but they've been together for an evening, and she's trying to get him to have sex with her. I think that's what's going on in my mind. It's 11:59. I want to stay alive. Boy, you've got the motion down, like a rocket to the ocean, like a bullet to the ocean. Like I think it's all about, trying to get together physically. And he maybe can't do it. Maybe he's too drunk or whatever. I've read other things. People are just like, oh, it's just talking about the transitory nature of youth and all this stuff. And like, I think it's about sex. Anyway, this block of 4 songs that I think is fantastic. Next, Will Anything Happen? This is another cover, originally by what were they called again? The Nerves, and Jack Lee. Will Anything Happen? Track number 8. Another good punk song. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I always said you could make it. I know what I said and I meant it. I always liked the way you played guitar. I always knew that someday you'd go far. And if you do, will anything happen? Will it come true? Will anything happen? Will I see you again? You said you'd be through here again. Please don't forget I'm here waiting. You always said that you would never change, like the people that you met and the places that you've been. And if you do, will anything happen? Will it come true? Will anything happen? Will I see you again?
So another great, just straight ahead punk song. To me, I love these basic catchy punk songs. I love the instrumentation. I really enjoy how Deborah Harry sings this one too. Like the first opening phrases for the verses, they're very clipped, almost spitting the words out. But then she starts like stringing the phrases together a little more and drawing them out. And then when it gets into that chorus, you really hear the double tracking on her voice, and it just brings this kind of volume to it. I don't know. It's a good song. Great song. Well performed.
Will I see you again?
Love the rhythm, the backing rhythm track, the drums and the bass. Is it over?
I always said you could make it. Just don't forget that I said it. 'Cause I always liked the way you played guitar. And I always knew that someday you'd go far. And if you do, will anything happen? Will it come true? Will anything happen? Will I see you again? Will I see you again? Will I see you again? And if I do, will anything happen?
How can you go wrong? It's not groundbreaking. They're not reinventing the wheel or anything. It's just a nice, straight ahead, post-punky, well, punk song, pop punk song, catchy song. Love it. Well performed. It's interesting when they were talking about how apparently the drummer Clem Burke had an issue keeping time. I mean, I guess they just must have really worked on it. I mean, because back then they couldn't quantize things. They couldn't fix the timing. You had to play it in time if you wanted it in time. But he just sounds metronomic, like perfect on most of these songs. I think maybe the timing drifts a little bit, but as far as his performance, there's nothing it never seems like he's lagging or he's speeding up or anything. It just sounds great. Fantastic. Love the bass and the drums. So next, Sunday Girl. This is another one of those songs that I think is very purposefully reminiscent of 60s, maybe even late 50s kind of girl group sort of sound, or maybe like a solo artist from like a Nancy Sinatra kind of sound from the late 50s, early 60s. This is written by Chris Stein, and I enjoy this song again. Again, this is that 4-song block that I think is just fantastic on this album, starting with 11:59, Then Will Anything Happen, and now Sunday Girl. So again, it's that sound very reminiscent of the 60s or late 50s, but there's just this little warp to it. It's almost like you're playing the record at the wrong speed slightly, or it's warbling on the turntable. Like there's just a little bit off, but I love the song.
Hurry up and wait. I stay away all weekend, still I wait. I got the blues. Please come see what your loving means to me.
Key change. I love that.
Can't catch up with a working crowd. The weekend mood and she's feeling proud. Living dreams, Sunday girl. Baby, I would like to go out tonight. If
Love
I
that.
go with you, my folks will get uptight. Stay at home, Sunday girl.
I love that part of the vocal where she's like, maybe, like she really just lets it go mush mouth. And I don't know. It's all part of the mood and the feeling of all these songs. Love it.
Hey, I saw your guy with a different girl. Looks like he's in another world. Run and hide, Sunday girl. When I saw you again in the summertime, if your love was as sweet as mine, I could be Sunday's girl. Hurry up and wait. I stay away all weekend, still I wait. I got the blues. Please come see what your loving means to me. Hurry up and wait. I got the blues, please.
Now this, sorry to keep stopping. This is Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Karen O had to have copied some of her persona and the way she sings and her vocal phrasing from Debbie Harry, because that is so Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, from their earlier albums.
Please come see what you do to me. I got the blues.
Let me go back there. Listen to this. This is Karen O.
Hurry up, what you wait up, hurry up and wait. I stay away all weekend, still I wait. I got the blues. Please come see what your love
Okay, Karen O time.
me. Hurry up and wait. I got the blues, please come see what you do to me. I got the blues.
So her.
Hurry up and wait. Hurry up. Please come see what you do to me.
That is just instant smile when I hear that song. I love, again, there's the juxtaposition of the instrumentation, that keyboard line in the back, the do 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 do. It sounds almost kind of surf rocky, sun washed, like happy go lucky song. And then the lyrics themselves, they're not morbid or depressing, but they're just not quite what you would think if you were just listening to the song and not really paying attention to the lyrics. I love how they capture that sort of feeling from a different era, but then they make it their own. They have their own little twist. I guess it is a kind of very postmodern style of music, but fantastic. Okay. Heart of Glass, their first #1 single in the United States, written by Deborah Harry and Chris Stein. You've all heard this one, but now really listen to this one because it's worth listening to. I know that's a keyboard. Okay, so right off the bat, I mean, you've all heard this song. It has that disco beat, but again, they're tweaking it. They're making it their own. It's not just straight ahead disco. And then the lyrics and the vocals just make this so much more than a disco song. I love the way she sings this song. Again, she's not using any vibrato really or anything, but it's just this pure, glassy tone. I love that. There's a little bit of breathiness to it, but it's mostly just very glassy and pure. That one line, much mistrust. I never knew what she was saying there, so I finally looked it up. It's mucho mistrust, which I never would have figured out if I hadn't looked it up. But yeah, just fantastic. Love that bass walk up.
What I find is pleasing and I'm feeling fine. Love is so confusing, there's no peace of mind. If I fear I'm losing you, it's just no good. You tease it like a devil.
That guitar in the background, funky.
Once I love and it was a gas. Soon turned out, had a heart of glass. Seemed like the real thing, only to find. Much mistrust, love's gone behind.
See, you can hear that now, right? Mucho mistrust.
Lost inside, unbearable illusion, and I cannot hide. I'm the one you're using, please don't push me aside. We could have made it cruising, yeah.
Oh yeah, we could have made it cruising. I always thought that was groovy.
Yeah, riding high,
extended outro. That song is the perfect pop song. The instrumentation, the arrangement, the performances, it's just absolutely perfect the way it is. I've heard an earlier like demo version of that song when they hadn't worked on it with the producer. It was just their own kind of internal demo when they were writing the song. It's cool. It sounds good, but this production of the song just makes it absolutely perfect. And that there is the denouement, the apex of this album. That's the crescendo. It all was leading up to that 4-song block. Absolutely fantastic. We have 2 songs left, and they're kind of a good come down to let you catch your breath. This first one, I'm Gonna Love You Too, is a Buddy Holly song. So another cover. There's 3 covers on this album, which is interesting. But it's just a fun rendition of a Buddy Holly song.
You're gonna say you miss me, and you're gonna say you kiss me, and you're gonna say you love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. I don't care what you told me, you're gonna say you hold me, and you're gonna say you love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. After all, another fella took you, but I still can't overlook you. I'm gonna do my best to hook you. After all is said and done, I don't care what you told me, you're gonna say you hold me, and you're gonna say you love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. You're gonna tell me sweet things, you're gonna make my heart sing, and I'm gonna hear bells ring, 'cause I'm gonna love you too.
It's fun.
After all, another fella took you, but I still can't overlook you. I'm gonna do my best to hook you. After all is said and done, you're gonna say you miss me, and you're gonna say you kiss me, and you're gonna say you love me, 'cause I'm gonna love you too. I'm gonna love you too. I'm gonna love you too. I'm gonna love you too.
Just fun. You know, I was about to say that the band can be very chameleon-like in being able to take on these other genres or styles of music. I mean, this is like 50s straight up rock and roll, Buddy Holly, but they still sound like them. They're never really chameleon-like, just putting themselves into these genres. They're always, you can see the inspiration, and this is just straightforward. They didn't really change the arrangement of that song very much at all. It's just like, this is a Buddy Holly song, we're going to do it. But they still sound like Blondie doing a Buddy Holly song. Just fun. Now we have the final song on the album. This is called Just Go Away by Debbie Harry. And might be my least favorite song on the album. It doesn't mean it's bad, but this is, I don't know if it's a fitting way of ending the album. I'm sure they were trying to be sort of clever by saying Just Go Away as the very last song, but let's take a listen.
Don't you know? Don't wanna see you anymore. Put up a shutter. Ooh, you spell you really Dior. Got a big mouth. I'm happy to see you. Foot is firmly entrenched where a molar should be. If you talk much louder, you could get an award from the
So yeah, you can see what I mean, why it might not be my favorite on the album. It just kind of, it's like trying to do these clever little turns of phrase about how much you annoy me, the singer of the song. Your shoe is like, what was it? Firmly entrenched where your molar should be. Oh, look, your foot's in your mouth. And I don't know. It's just kind of, not my
Or
favorite.
lose your Medicaid, cool, of course, cool. Rhymes with fool, don't go be bad.
Cool rhymes with
'Cause
fool.
you've been had. Don't go way south, don't go way mad. Just go away, go away.
Those backing vocals. I like this little interlude. This kind of makes the song worth it, actually. And that is very Strokesy as well, especially more recent Strokes. Listen to, what is their most recent album? It has like The Adults Are Talking and stuff. I think it's The New Normal or something like that. Is that their latest album? But anyway, that sounds very Strokesy. Or the Strokes sound very Blondie.
Don't you know, I don't want to see you cursing out, backing and moving. You spell, you read, or you cheat out. You got a big mouth, and I'm happy to see your foot is firmly entrenched where a molar should be. Don't be mad, or lose your Medicaid, cool, of course, cool. Rhymes with cool, don't go be bad, 'cause you've been had. Don't go way south, don't go way mad. Just go away. Don't go be bad, 'cause you've been had. Don't go way south, don't go way mad. Just go away, go away, go away and stay away.
Well, there you go, gang. That is the final song off the album Parallel Lines by Blondie in 1978. Stop it. In 1978. That was Go Away or Just Go Away, written words and music, I guess, by Deborah Harry. She's listed as the sole songwriter for that song. This album is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. I own 3 Blondie albums now. Their second album, Plastic Letters, their third album, Parallel Lines, and their fourth album, Eat to the Beat. All 3 albums are great. I think Parallel Lines is the peak, though. And then I would probably put Eat to the Beat slightly over Plastic Letters, even though Plastic Letters has a couple songs that I absolutely love. But as far as just consistently the amount of good songs on each album, but maybe we'll get to those other albums at some point in the future if we're even able to do this series in the future. We'll see. This is the trial run. We'll see how this goes. But thank you so much for joining me in this listening party for Blondie's Parallel Lines. I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later. Just go away. Go away. Whoa, whoa.